Hi, this is Jamie Steinberg with Starry Constellation magazine. Anjana, what did they describe to you was the relationship between Mary and her ladyship? Sort of a companionship, a friendship?
I think companion. Hi, first of all, hello. And I think companionship is the right word because it was actually a job back in the day. Women of a certain sort of class and upbringing, you could be a governess or you were married, and the only other respectable thing you could do was be a companion. But the interesting thing about being a companion is that you're kind of in an in-between place because it's not something you want to do for too long and you are under someone else's roof and you're under someone else's care and guardianship in a sense. So you're living life a little bit on their terms. And I think there is a deep friendship and bond between Lady Tressilian and Mary. And Mary refers to the time that the reason why she came into a companionship with her is because, their family were close to Lady Tressilian. Her father was very good friends with Lady Tressilian. And when he was not well and when the family was in difficult circumstances, Lady Tressilian helped them out and took care of them. But she's a young woman who feels like the years have gone past her and she hasn't lived life on her terms. So it's a strange sort of guardianship where she needs to sort of find her own independence and life because she's not living her life on her terms.
Mimi, you are just exceptional here as Kay, and she's between a rock and a hard place. Her husband is sort of forcing her into this weekend with his ex-wife. Can't be too pleasant for her.
Oh,
But
you
is
wouldn't have that, would you? I wouldn't.
no. No, I don't think any woman in her right mind would love sharing a weekend with the ex-wife.
No,
Yeah,
not the
that's
honeymoon.
definitely a red flag. A
Yeah,
red flag moment for
that's
sure.
bright red.
Were you told what initially drew Kay to Neville and connected these two? What kind of chemistry they have?
Um, actually, it never, I don't think we ever specifically ask or get into the question of why or what it is about Neville. I think it's very obvious when at the beginning of the story when we're seeing Kay as the gold digger and sort of just very, she is an opportunistic character, but just sort of maybe appearing to be doing things for the wrong reasons. So, that's not why you marry someone. Um, so I think it's interesting. It's hard to say. As in, do I feel that she's one or the other?
Yeah, as if they were initially united because there was genuine love,
I
or
think
maybe she saw like their pasts seem to
definitely
have
not
some.
not in the beginning. Definitely not. I'd say the beginning is definitely you seeing her to like just trying to get her way and like get ahead in life by marrying a rich, famous tennis player who I'm quite sure she knows was married. Yes, I think she did know. But then I think just somewhere along the way, obviously, I think she's never really belonged in one place
Mhm.
or felt probably important. I don't think. I think she's had to push herself to be seen ever or to ever feel like she's important in any scenario. So I think that there's obviously something there along the way. I mean, even if you were pretending to love someone and you were marrying them for their money, I mean, you end up spending time with someone. That's how you fall in love, isn't it? Just spending time with people and getting to know them because everyone portrays a version of themselves. And I think probably a famous tennis player probably portrays himself very well. So, but everyone is their own person. And somewhere along the line, she's fallen in love with him, which is very sad because I don't think he loved her. I don't think he loved her back in the end. But yeah, I don't know. I couldn't answer exactly why, but I think it's probably very genuine, judging from sort of how the story progresses and the emotional side to Kate that we get to see. I do feel very heartbroken for her at times.
Well, Anjana, there's so many poignant and powerful and adrenaline rush moments through and through this entire series. What's the scene that you're most proud of the work you put into, or maybe one of your favorites that you filmed?
it's hard to pick because it was such an amazing cast that there were so many actors that I really enjoyed getting to do a scene with, you know. Um, I loved there's a moment that one of my favorite scenes is the moment where Mary really just crosses a line almost in the friendship with Lady Tressilian because they've never had that kind of um relationship with each other where she has an argument with her. And Lady Tressilian is like warning her to kind of back off, and she doesn't. She really goes really strong at Lady Tressilian, and then she kind of storms off and just like runs into the sea. And there's that something so cathartic and freeing about doing that, which I really love because that's when you realize this character is not who you think she is. And you see the level of sort of just the depth of feeling that she has underneath. And I thought that was like a very beautiful moment for Mary to like express her way that way. And I also loved the little subplot that she had with Thomas and um, the kind of friendship and chemistry, but also tension there. And will they and won't they? And what do they want from each other? And Jack is such a beautiful actor, and I love doing those scenes with him.
Mary doesn't have a lot of excitement, does she? I love seeing her. I
No.
love seeing her when she gets excited. She's like, "You're not invited, but just come."
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
It's so good.
I loved the when we all went dancing.
Oh,
That was
so
my
good.
favorite day. Actually, that was probably my favorite day of filming.
It
The
was
sad thing
hot.
is,
It was good.
there was so much amazing footage of Mary
You have
dancing.
no idea.
But the scene is not about Mary dancing.
To me, it
So
was.
so we didn't get to
That
use
was
a
all it
lot
was.
of it. We didn't get to use a lot of it, but I was just there in the background having the best time and pulling focus from everyone else.
You were.
I was doing spins and throws, and I was great, you guys. The
You
footage
were.
has to be released,
Yeah, it does. I'll find it for you.
somewhere.
Mimi, you've
Right here.
certainly developed that death stare from Sex Education. And I think one of my favorite moments is you looking down at the tennis match to the ex-wife.
Oh my goodness.
So
Yes, I love that.
Good eye
those are some
acting.
poignant,
A
great
lot of
stuff.
eye acting, and I must say,
You were
good eye
very
acting.
good.
You've got good eyes. We were eye acting a lot, but yeah, that scene is actually I mean, the idea behind it is sort of that, she's not expecting Audrey to be there.
Mm.
And the fact that Audrey's there, she is just aghast. She's like, oh, the ghoul, which is a little bit ironic because she's stolen her husband. Like, how dare you? But it's sort of like she sees her and she is giving her a look and a stare, like, I'm here and I don't approve. And then it's Audrey's kind of it. That was one of, I think there's many really eerie, like sort of creepy moments in like broad daylight in front of everyone. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
And then Audrey looks back at her. You expect if you're giving someone a stare, like, lower your gaze, now feel ashamed. But she didn't. She's like staring harder, and that really like catches Kay off guard because Audrey's just staring harder, and then she starts smiling at her, and it's so weird.
You've had a lot of practice from Sex Education, and it's paid
Yeah,
off
but
for this
usually that's
series.
me. I don't think there was ever a moment that Ruby was intimidated by another woman's stare. But definitely at that moment in the tennis match is a very very weird one, and I love it.